it's Sunday, it's 8 o'clock, and this is Live in the Hive. Yes, we are here every Sunday night on the Facebook channels of Live in the Hive and I Love Manchester, the iconic city brand dedicated to community and culture. If it's your first time watching the show, I'm Michelle Eagleton. I'm here in my garden bar called the Hive. I love theatre. I hope you do too, because you're in for 30 minutes of theatre news and interview. So do stay with us. Hope you're going to enjoy the show. We've got some great guests this evening for you. We really have. In the Hive, we're going to be talking to the Thinking Drinkers. They are absolutely perfect guests this evening because they are the people who know everything about alcohol. They know all you need to know, and they bring lots of fun and interactivity. We're going to find out about their tour, which is coming to Oldham Coliseum in March. So that's going to be really great. We've got Ben and Tom in the house in a few moments' time. Along with that, we're going to be hearing about Greater Manchester Fringe Festival, which takes place this July. It's going to be big. It's going to be bigger than ever, in fact. And the lady behind that, Lisa Connor, will be telling us all about it and how we can also get involved ourselves. So very, very exciting. And of course, every week, if you do watch the show, you know that we bring you Greater Manchester theatre news. And I have been out of Manchester over to the Big Smoke London, and I have a bit of an exclusive video to share with you a little bit later on. You definitely don't want to miss that one. But let's kickstart tonight with something a little strong. Maybe you've got your brew in your hand, or maybe you've got a glass of fizz. Well done if you have, by the way. But the guys that know all that there is to know about alcohol joined me earlier this week. They actually loved the Hive because this garden bar pretty much has their name all over it. Anyway, I wanted to find out about what the Thinking Drinkers pub quiz tour was all about, and here's what they had to say to me. Well, guys, I do think it's really apt to have you on Live in the Hive, because here I am in my garden bar / studio, and I'm with the Thinking Drinkers themselves. Come on.
Yes.
Hey, hello.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for inviting
your bar.
us to your bar. It's fantastic.
What have you got in the back there, Michelle? What have you got?
Yeah, we've got a bit of mermaid gin. We've got a bit of Jack Daniels. We've got a bit of vodka. I do feel a little bit like I should have stopped this better, guys, because I knew I was having you on. I feel like I've let myself down.
Not at all. And actually, if you're coming to our show afterwards, we'll give you lots of new ideas of things to add to there, because we've got Brockman's gin in the show, which you'll taste, which is a very fruity gin. So you might want to add that to your gin collection. So I know you come to the right people to learn what to stock for sure.
Well, I love the sound of this. It's called the Thinking Drinkers Pub Quiz. And it's a bit, well, I imagine there's a quiz there. There's some interaction. We're going to find out loads of stuff about alcohol, another win-win situation. And we get to taste it. Is that right, Ben?
Yes, it certainly is. You've got it. Brilliant. Yeah, there's 5. So it's a comedy show. It's a theatrical show. So imagine that. But then we throw in a quiz element. All the answers to the quiz are given to the audience members by us up there on stage. But also, which makes the show utterly unique, is the fact that each and every audience member gets to taste 5 phenomenal drinks as part of it. Each round comes with its own bespoke drink. And we talk about how alcohol and this particular drink has influenced history and essentially shaped everything that's ever happened, really, alcohol. And so there's a geography round, there's an animals round, there's a film round, a music round, and each one has its own bespoke drink, and you get to enjoy them. And if we give them to you, we give each member the drinks in these lovely little pouches that are sealable. So if you are coming along and you happen to be driving or you're abstaining for some reason, then you can still enjoy the show and then have those drinks when you get home.
I absolutely love this. Now, this is going up and down the country. We get it in Oldham. What's the reaction like from the audience when you do this?
Well, I think the first, I'm not going to lie, the first 5 minutes is a sort of general confusion about what it is, because not to give too much away, but we do come out in monkey suits, and then we have a rather rapid costume change. And there's bafflement on the faces of most people we can see in the audience. But that only lasts about 5 minutes when they're wondering what happens. And then we say, who would like a beer? And then it becomes clear that we are giving out drinks as part of the experience. And everyone feels a lot better about that. And then we explain the rules of the quiz and people slowly get into it. And I think by the end of it, there's a genuine feeling of having seen something a bit unique in terms of theatre, because when we started doing it, no one was doing anything really like this. And we'd hosted a load of tastings in food festivals, and we found that people were drinking the drinks, but not really engaged with what we were saying and what was going on. So we wanted to make them feel like they're getting more out of the experience. So by the end of it, they've sort of had this tasting, they've learned about the drinks, they've had some laughs, they've done a quiz which, everyone has got a chance of winning as well. So everyone feels involved. It's not a difficult quiz. All the answers are actually wrapped into the show. So all you have to do is listen. So they've been able to get involved in the quiz, whereas in a pub quiz, sometimes there are those sort of boring old blokes in the corner who win every week.
Absolutely, I've seen
ours, everyone can win. Yeah. So I think by the end of it, they're pleasantly surprised, is what I'd say. Ben, is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Surprised. And I think one of the things we're keen to stress is that whilst the drinks are a key to the show, it's not necessarily a drinking show. You actually learn. There is an educational element to it. It's like a QI, but with a drink in your hand. So you learn a lot, and next time you go to the pub, you'll be loaded with loads of anecdotal ammunition to impress your mates with and make you seem more interesting than you were before. So the whole idea is that we want to broaden people's booze horizons. Our motto is to drink less, drink better. So we're not encouraging people to drink in an irresponsible way. What we want them to do is to learn more about what's in their glass and realize how it's influenced the past, and also essentially enjoy a drink for what it is, which is a social thing, something to enjoy with your mates and have fun. I mean, life's pretty tough at the moment. Things are not going brilliantly well, and I suppose that's the other element of the show. It is great value. You get these drinks. It's the same price as a normal ticket, and you get all this with it. And we appreciate that at the moment people are being very choosy, understandably so, on what they spend their money on. So it's a great night out. It's fun. It's a laugh, and you learn a bit as well.
And I've got to say, as the years knock on for me, I'm not going to reveal how old I am, but you do want to enjoy something a bit more. I mean, I went out with my niece who's in her early 20s a couple of weeks ago, and she was there ordering a jug of cocktail, which, Tom, as a bit of a cocktail master, you'd be like, there's no alcohol in there at all. It just was like strawberry slush. And I was there in my head thinking, oh, I'd like to be at home with a nice glass of Chilean Chardonnay, very cold, in a nice wine glass. And here I am with a jug,
I know. Well, people's tastes and perceptions of drinking have changed massively. I think COVID and the lockdown was not good for anything really, except for maybe learning a bit more about drink. I mean, you've set up a fantastic home bar, and I think people have become a bit more discerning. Certainly over the last 15 years, we've noticed that binge Britain drinks tag has really fallen away now, and people are prepared to spend 30 or 40 quid on a bottle of gin, but they want to drink it in the right way. And I think that's absolutely critical now in terms of glassware. You want decent ice at home, and you expect the same when you go to a pub or a bar. And people's tastes have changed. We've with the whole the farm foods thing, and people wanting to know more about provenance and where their food's coming from. The same's happening in drink. Something like gin and the gin-naissance that we've experienced over the last 10 years is evidence of that. We want to know where it comes from. We like our local gins, and we want to know what the botanicals are. And we're all learning more about drink. And I think that's the right way to go with it. It's not something to just hammer down out of jugs. I mean, cocktail culture is one of the great drinks cultures that we've got. And in this country, Manchester, that region, in terms of the bars up there, incredible knowledge around cocktail culture up in the northwest, and we want to go to bars and we want to see bartenders who know all about that. So I think that's one of the things we're really passionate about is getting those messages across to people and helping improve their liquid lives and making them make choices that play into that, so that when they got mates around, they come to your bar for a night out, even though you're at home, they're getting great drinks as well.
I mean,
Hey,
to be
there's
fair to your
there's
niece,
no
though,
last orders in my bar, Ben. No last orders.
no,
No last
absolutely.
orders. There
But
you go.
just to go back to your was it your niece you went out with? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, when we were in our 20s, we were ordering some terrible drinks as well. I think it's a rite of passage that don't be too hard on her. She'll your tastes evolve, and before long, with a bit of guidance from you, she'll be ordering a slick martini, I'm sure, and the jugs will not be anywhere to be seen.
But we
But
get
yes,
guidance from you guys, and you do know your stuff. I mean, the back catalogue about where you have worked, you guys, and what you know about alcohol is second to none. I was really impressed when I read about you. I was like, oh my God, these two, they are pretty much up there with the knowledge. So that's what we're getting, aren't we, on the night, Ben and Tom?
yes,
Ben,
yes.
Yeah.
you like your beer, Tom? You like your cocktails? We get a bit of both.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. I mean, we have spent. It's weird that it's a job. I'll be honest, but we have spent 20 years making a job of traveling around the world and visiting the best bars, distilleries, breweries, vineyards, and I think if you treat it with the same reverence as you treat your food, then you're on the right track, and that's something that we started doing perhaps we were a bit ahead of the curve, and frankly there weren't that many people doing it when we were doing it. We kind of engineered a job for ourselves because we wanted to spend more time in the pub, but as we got to know more people in it and see the people and the passion behind each of these products, then we wanted to share that with everyone else. So that's it's a great job, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I think one of the things is that frustrates us maybe is that whenever alcohol is discussed in a wider context in the media, it tends to be demonized. And we're acutely aware, we know that drink has a sort of Jekyll and Hyde character, but actually when you see the people that make these things and the passion, like Tom says, and the characters, and it's just really interesting. There's loads of wonderful stories behind these things, and when it's just alcohol is having a drink is one of the great pleasures of life. Obviously, it's like the Great British Bake Off. Obviously, if you spend your entire day eating cakes, it's not good for you, but people still celebrate a decent sponge cake, don't they? And I suppose with alcohol, it's the same thing. We're talking about it, but it's on the understanding that you drink in moderation and you enjoy it. I mean, like I say, life's pretty tough. So having a glass of Chilean Chardonnay on a Friday night don't feel guilty about it. But if you want to know more about it, then we're here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot, both of you. What is your favourite tipple? Tom, you first.
At the moment, I'm drinking in moderation a lot of American whiskey. I'm a big fan of American whiskey. I've been over to Kentucky to the distilleries over there many times. And I think the flavour profile of American whiskey is really good for people who think they don't like whiskey. And we've got something called Elijah Craig in the show, which is one of the great American whiskies. And I would have that just on the rocks at the moment. It does also make a magnificent Manhattan, though, which would be my cocktail of choice at the moment.
Nice. Oh, I do like that. Ben, what's yours?
Oh, it's a difficult one. I think at the moment I've just I'm afraid I crumbled during dry January. I got 3.5 weeks in, and then I couldn't do it anymore.
I'm surprised you even did it, Ben.
I tried. Yeah. God, it's a long month, isn't it? But I broke my fast with a lovely chilled beer. It's Krombacher Pils, which actually you do get in the show as well. And it'd been winking at me from my fridge for the last 3.5 weeks, and finally I gave in to a seduction, and I drank that. So and that was just lovely, chilled in a glass with some peanuts. It was great. It was a great time.
Talking of peanuts.
Oh my!
Oh yes.
Oh, is it Big D nuts as well? Oh my God!
I've got salted as well. Whatever, like to fancy.
Now, did
that
you
is
know
the best
that,
bar in the world?
We've got a Big D nuts fact. There's back in the day, the Big D nuts used to employ a rather dubious marketing strategy where they some rather scantily clad ladies would be on their packets and it's very. I wouldn't advocate it at all. But the last Big D Nuts girl or woman in inverted commas was the wife of Joe Wicks.
No way.
Yeah.
I
don't know where that. I know you. That's an exclusive from about 5 years ago.
I bet he doesn't eat those peanuts, though.
No,
I can't imagine
exactly.
Well, they're high in protein, Michelle. They're high in protein, and as with the drink, as long as you do your exercise, you can eat something like that.
I bet you, there's thousands of boxes in their attic. The Wicks'
in moderation. Moderation. Oh, do you know what? I can't wait for you guys to come, and I do think that every show must be quite different as well. So quite entertaining for you because you never know what you're going to get in that audience, right?
No, that's it. I mean, you could say that's because we can't remember our lines. But it does mean that every show's unique. So yeah, that's the silver lining.
We've never played Oldham before, so we're very excited about it. Very excited. And the Coliseum is a rather intimidating name for it because it sounds like we've been thrown to the lions. But we're very excited about it. It'd be a great night.
Yeah. Definitely not. They'll be they will love you, and they do like the drink in Oldham, and I will be there as well. So I should be raising a glass from my seat, and if you want to tell me a few of the questions before the
don't you worry, Michelle.
I can't say I didn't try to get the questions out of them, but they were having none of it, were they? I'm just going to have to go and try my luck when they come to the Oldham Coliseum. Do get down there if you fancy a great night out. It sounds really, really exciting and very different as well. That's the Thinking Drinkers pub quiz coming to the Coliseum in March. Now, still to come on the show, we're going to be talking to Lisa Connor, the lady who is behind Greater Manchester Fringe. She's going to be telling me about this year's Fringe and how you can get involved. So you really, really don't want to miss that one. But first, before all that, well, it's that time of the week again. Yes, every week we like to bring you the latest in Greater Manchester theatre news. What has been going on this week? Tonight is a big night in the theatre calendar. It's the 23rd annual What's on Stage Award. And up for those nominations, we have lots of Manchester counterparts. Oh, yes, we are flying the flag for Manchester at these awards. And a big good luck to all of those that are up for those nominations. It includes Hope Mill Theatre and the Octagon in Bolton. They're up for Best Regional Production. Hope Mill, of course, is up for Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, which was there at Christmas. And the Octagon is up for The Book Thief. So, as I say, that is great to have two of those in that category. We've also got Home Manchester is up for an award, and the Lowry as well for their collaboration with other theatres, and that is on Identical the Musical for the Lowry, and Home Manchester with Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Oh, very, very exciting tonight. And next week we'll be telling you all the winners. So hopefully we'll be bringing some awards back to Manchester. Now, talking of London and Manchester, because of course those awards are in London tonight, something that is going to London, which is coming here and has some real strong Manchester connection, is Animal, and this was announced this week. It's actually coming to Hope Mill Theatre, which is really the place that set Animal off because it became the winner of the inaugural Through the Mill Playwright Prize that Hope Mill did last year, and now it's taken to the stage and is really going to wow people. This is a play that explores how disability, sexuality and lust coexist with people who require round-the-clock assistance. It's written by Ian Bradfield, developed by a disability activist and equality trainer called Josh Heppel, and it's hilarious. It's also heartbreaking and really looking at relationships and this hookup culture. So yes, the play is coming to Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester. It's also going to be at the Tobacco Factory in Bristol and Park Theatre in London. So if you fancy going to see it, it is just a short play. It's 2 hours long and it comes to us here at Hope Mill from the 9th of March till the 2nd of April. I think this one is going to be absolutely fantastic. And also, talking of London, I actually went down there last week. Yes, I headed down to the Big Smoke to see this 222, A Ghost Story. Now, you may have heard that Cheryl has taken a part in this production, and it is really famed for, the big names coming to play these roles. Now, Cheryl hasn't done a lot of acting before. They tend to choose people like that. Lily Allen has played the same role that Cheryl is playing right now. Along with that, you've also had Laura Whitmore play the role as well. You can see another famous name in there, Jake Wood. He has been in the production since the start, on and off. You've got Louise Ford and Scott Karim. They are all absolutely fantastic. Now, why am I telling you about this? Well, first off, I wanted to tell you that Cheryl really did put in a great performance. I know a lot of people over the news have been saying she's brilliant. I can definitely confirm it. And also the audience can as well, because I took some sneaky footage of the curtain call. Oh, she was fantastic. Honestly, you would not think that Cheryl hadn't acted before. She played a blinder in that role. But will she be coming to the Lowry in Salford? Because they announced this week that 222, A Ghost Story, is coming just for Halloween and a few days afterwards. What a perfect timing, hey, to go and see a show that makes you jump out of your skin for Halloween. The 31st of October, it comes to Salford and it runs until the 4th of November. As I say, casting hasn't been announced yet. They do tend to go for somebody who's a little bit famous and maybe has no acting experience. So I will definitely keep you posted on that one. Now, talking of exciting things that are coming our way, I love a good festival, especially when it's all about theatre. And this one does everything. It's Greater Manchester Fringe Festival, a really brilliant opportunity for new productions to come here to Manchester in lots of different venues across Greater Manchester. I spoke earlier this week to the lady behind Greater Manchester Fringe. She is one hell of a woman. She's a complete powerhouse and she's called Lisa Connor. Here's what she had to say about this year's Fringe, and do stay listening to this because if you're interested in getting involved, she's got all the details.
Well, do you know what? We are here. We're in the King's Arms Theatre. This is where the magic happens of the Greater Manchester Fringe. Lisa, tell us about it.
So we are one of the venues of the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival, and there is venues across the whole of Greater Manchester. So the Fringe Festival started in 2012, so this will be our, thinking it, 12th, 13th year? Well, yes, it will, but I'm trying to do the math in my head now.
You're doing very well, honestly. So it's been going for so long. How important is it that Greater Manchester has a Fringe Festival like this?
It's as important today as it was when we started it. So without the Fringe Festival, to me the Fringe is the beating heart of all theatre. It's where danger, where people can take risks, where the work begins, where the interesting stuff happens. Because without the Fringe theatre, there'll be nothing in the main houses. Things have got to develop somewhere and start their journey.
And they start right here. Now, as we say, we're in the King's Arms, and actually to kind of pass it on the street, you'd be like, you wouldn't expect that this goes on here, but you go upstairs and like the theatre's there, and you've even got like offshot rooms where I think you said one time you had like a one-man show in a cupboard.
In the cleaning cupboard at the bottom of the stairs.
Cupboard, where only one person could go in at a time. Now
it was sold out every night.
I love it, but that is how versatile we can get with theatre nowadays, isn't it? It doesn't have to be proscenium arch and in a natural venue.
It can be in a tent, it can be anywhere. Yeah. Absolutely anywhere. Create art and share it with people.
So where have we got then this year? What venues can we expect to go and see productions
So off the top of my head, because you put me on the spot, we've got the Lion's Den, we've got 53-2, we've got the King's Arms, we've got Salford Arts Theatre, we have got Pear Mill, which is in Stockport.
Nice.
We've got the Wave Theatre in Atherton.
So it's
spanning the whole of Greater Manchester, We've got Lot 91, we've got quite a few in the city centre. Fitzgerald have just signed up. A new piano bar near St Anne's Square.
Sonata.
That's the one,
Brilliant.
So they've got an amazing show in conversation at the moment, but I won't say any more about that, but that looks spectacular.
Oh, do you know, it's exciting, and it must be exciting for you seeing some of these people get in touch and say, we want to do our production. Now, are there rules and regulations? Who can get on board?
It
Because I'm
is-
sure people watching would be like, do you know what? I'd like to take my show to the
I wish
Fringe.
everybody would put something on. It's open access. It's for everybody. Everyone and anyone can come and put on a show.
And they're not too late, are they?
They're not too late, no.
Right, so what do they need to do?
They need to go to our website, www.thegreatermanchesterfringe.co.uk, and put on a show, and the form will come down. You register your interest. And the good thing is about Eventatron, which we use, is if you're then interested in doing other Fringe festivals, Eventatron's the platform for most of the Fringe festivals across the UK. So you fill out the one application and you can
does it
apply
for
to all of the Fringe festivals.
Do you know, I wish it was like that and that easy for jobs when you apply for jobs and you've got to upload everything.
All the
So
jobs.
I've got to go. So, what you're looking for is anything and everything, really. The diverse, the better, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't think anyone can tell you what's good and what's not. Art is the eye of the beholder, isn't it? So, yeah.
How did you get involved in this, Lisa? Because you know what? It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of drive, and a lot of hard work.
I just screw loose, I don't know. Isn't that all arts, though?
No, but you're from a performing background.
So I went to drama school about 20 years ago.
Right.
So, and at the time I was working in a city centre pub, the Lassie Gallery, and we started a little theatre above there, and myself and Ian had Taurus at the time. We realised there was no Fringe Festival in Manchester, so we wanted to create something by artists, for artists, and bring the venues together and do it collaboratively. So we wasn't trying to make money out of people, so it was an easy platform for artists to get involved in without losing their shirts.
And that is so brilliant of you to do, because lots of things can become money-making thing, and to have that passion is brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, though, that we know, big names that have come
yes.
and performed
Yes.
at the Fringe and actually started here and then got their fame.
Yes.
You know? It's
I know.
amazing, really, really good. We've had Rob Beckett.
Yes.
He's been here as well. Who else have you got? Do you know what? You've got quite a
Phil
few.
Jupiters.
Phil
yes.
Jupiters.
I mean, we was the beginning of his career, wasn't we?
I know. Maxine Peake is a lover as well of
Yes.
the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival. And actually, like I say, it's nice to be putting Greater Manchester on the map.
Yes.
Now tell us, when is it running this year?
It's the whole of July, as it is every single year, the 1st to the 31st of July.
Brilliant. Now, promise me that you will let some of your wonderful acts come on live in the Hive and tell us all about what they're going to be doing.
And you're putting on a show, I hope.
I am, yeah. It's a little bit secret at the moment, but you may have just given the game away.
Oh, sorry.
I think Live in the Hive will be getting involved with Greater Manchester Fringe this year. We will keep you posted, but it's going to be good, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, you've got to go
Thank
because
you.
you're a very busy lady, but we'll speak to you soon. Cheers, Lisa.
Thank you.
Can you believe she let the cat out of the bag? Lisa, I'll let you off, but I was going to make a big announcement about the fact that Live in the Hive is going to be live at Greater Manchester Fringe this year. It is very exciting. Come and join us. We are going away from the Hive and into a Greater Manchester venue. We will tell you what that venue is, how you can come and see it, and what date that's going to be on very, very soon. Of course, the Fringe runs the whole of July. What a great month for theatre. If you want to get involved as well, all you need to do is email Lisa. She would love to hear from you. And also you can find more information on the Greater Manchester Fringe website just below. Now that's it for this week. A big thanks to my guests, the Thinking Drinkers and Lisa. If you want to find out what's going on in the theatre world across this week, maybe where to go and what to see, then you know where to head, the I Love Manchester website, and give us a follow and spread the word on social. If you love us, we are on social at Twitter and Instagram at Live in the Hive 21. And of course, we are here every week on Facebook, Live in the Hive and I Love Manchester. So I will see you next week. Have a great week. Until then, bye-bye.